Hello, friends, and welcome to our live session here. Today we are going to talk about how you can hack your vocabulary using Google image search. I hope you can hear me well. Let's get it started. How can you use Google image search to really improve your vocabulary and basically to make your learning process easier? We all know that it's great for finding pictures, right? You can find anything online on Google. In fact, we have a verb. You can simply Google it. Yeah. So we Google everything every single day, right? Many things. But it's actually a secret weapon for building your vocabulary. Why, you may ask, yeah? Because it helps you do two crucial, very, very important things at once. It permanently links a new word to a visual memory. Basically, using by using Google image search, you can visualize things you learn. Okay, of course, mostly it works with objects and things, but still, it's a great tool to visualize the word. But also, it reveals exactly how native speakers use that word in real life through collocations or related words, basically some words that naturally go together with that particular word. So, today I'm going to give you three examples and show you exactly how it works in real life. So, when you type a word in Google Images, look right below the search bar. You will see a row of suggestions, okay? And those suggestions are actually buttons. So, we'll now explore, so stay with me. Very soon we'll explore how you can use that. Let's take the first word, apple, okay? Let me move to this window right here. So I simply Googled Apple here and chose images right here. Not all, but images, yeah? And as you can see, now I have quite of a diverse search results. Yeah, I see Apple as a company, Apple, Apple as a fruit. What else? Apple as a phone, right? Many, many other things. Yeah, very different things. So these are the search results, basically images, because we are searching here images. But as you can see right here are some kind of suggestions. Those are suggestions by Google to refine your search, okay? Basically to help you find the right thing or the thing that you were looking for. So we can actually use that little kind of feature, yeah, Google feature to learn English. And how can we use that? So we take the word Apple and then we see, okay, it could be Apple logo. And if you click that, you will see obviously more suggestions of the logo of Apple company. Apple could be also iPhone. Apple clip art. That's a little like clip art, as it says, basically like an icon, drawn picture, not the real apple. Apple is a fruit. Red apple. Drawing of an apple. Yeah, wallpaper with apples. What else? Apple outline, basically a silhouette, yeah, the outline of the apple. Green apple. What else? Gold, computer, yeah. Icon, apple tree. Let's check this one. Apple tree. Okay. Apple on tree, yeah. So these are suggestions of apples on trees. And then as you can see, if you select tree, now you get new suggestions, yeah? Like apple, like red apple on a tree, or animated red apple on a tree, yeah? Fresh apple, apple fruit, wallpaper, beautiful apple. What else? Yellow apple, maybe some baby apples. Okay. Apple branch. So as you can see now, we are learning more and more collocations. Yes, of course, you have to be, aware of such things like, okay, apple vector, that might not be the best choice, of a collocation for you, but, beautiful apple, yellow apple, apple painting, apple branch, some kind of sorts or types of apple. What else? Could be a single apple, and so on. Now, you got the point, right? So these are all suggestions. If I go back and click close, it kind of takes me back to the original page where I saw initial search results. If I move like farther away and see some like other suggestions here, like for example, apple and banana, Apple Sketch. Let me open Apple Sketch. Okay, now I can learn more in in the area of sketches. Yeah, I can learn new words. Realistic pencil sketch, a drawing, a simple sketch. What else? Transparent sketch that I can see through. Hyper realistic sketch. Wow, these are very good collocations. Yeah, shadow with some shadows. Yeah, where you can practice drawing some shadows and so on. That's how you dive deeper and learn more about this particular word. Okay, and that's how you can use Google search to explore those word combinations. Basically, let me close this option again, and let's see. So also I wanted to talk about something else. Let's say I chose apple fruit. Yeah, fruits, apple. Okay, and now I get a lot of suggestions here, and actually if I click the image, I can then learn some more vocabulary here, related words. You remember, just as the definitions work in dictionaries, same kind of happens here. You are connecting the target word apple, yeah, with all the related words. For example, let's see what kind of words we can find here connected to the apple fruit, yeah. We have types of apples, basically sorts, yeah, nutrition, cultivation, facts. Okay, good. And that's Britannica, Encyclopedia Britannica. So what I also wanted to point out here, that not all of these um, links and pictures will give you accurate results and things you want to use for language. For images, of course, it's fine. You know, you choose just the most beautiful one and off you go. But um, not all of these websites are proofread and accurate. So you have to see what kind of website you're using. For example, if I look quickly through all of these search results, I see a few very good websites that can provide some accurate information, and that is Britannica. I read Encyclopedia Britannica almost every day with my students as well. It's a great source of texts, information, and facts. Also, CNN, that probably will be a very good website to read more about this. And even just start by reading the title. The fruits kids eat most is probably apple, right? And so on. Then yeah, so be aware of the websites that are like, look, Harvard Health. Okay, fruit of the month, apples, Harvard Health. Not much you can learn here, but what I'm saying is you will see in our two more examples here, yeah, you will see that a relevant website and website with accurate information can give you more and again more accurate information on that particular word. Okay, that's basically what I wanted to show you about Apple. Yeah. Let's move to our second word here, and that is sharpener. Okay. So instead of just memorizing this object, you can look at what kind of sharpeners exist in real world. And as you can see already, yeah, with Apple, you can learn so much about sharpener or any other word, of course. So, for example, yeah, what else do we have here? As you remember, initially you get all kinds of results here, yeah, but then you can refine your search and say, okay, I want to see pencil sharpeners, yeah, pencil sharpener, and you can see all kinds of pencil sharpeners here. Again, if I choose, okay, Amazon.com, yeah, that's a very good website, probably doesn't have any mistakes there. So let me see, okay, that's a brand. Then single hole. Okay, so apparently there are double hole, and as you can see on eBay, you see here double hole metal pencil sharpener. Amazing. Now, of course, I'm not saying that these collocations you'll use in spoken English. No, but you'll be able to learn how to describe objects and give them appropriate adjectives, yeah, and details that are often very important, yeah. So as you can see, it's a single hole plastic, yeah, or pencil sharpener, classroom sharpener. Wonderful. Now, next time when you talk about sharpeners, you can say, oh, can I have a single hole sharpener, classroom sharpener or something? Or can I have a metal double hole sharpener? Maybe you want to have a sharpener for two different sizes, yeah, a small pencil and a bigger pencil, yeah. Those thicker ones are actually even like more fun to draw with. Yeah. Then again, I'm closing this pencil thing, okay, and go to some other sharpeners. Let's say eraser. Apparently, there is a sharpener with an eraser, okay, sharpener with eraser. Again, check what kind of website you're seeing that on, because again, some of these websites might be local ones, like this one, for example. It's a local Georgian website, and I trust them. They probably did a good job translating those things, and putting those accurate descriptions and names for these objects. But again, I kind of trust more websites coming from America or the UK. Yeah, for example, like Amazon. In this case, actually, it's a German website here. Yeah, Amazon. No, that's Australia, I guess. Yeah. Okay, Australia. Sharpener with eraser pack. All right. Sharpener with an eraser. Nice. Let me close that again and find something else. Westcott brand. Kids pencil sharpener. Eraser with antimicrobial whatever. If I want to explore that further, I could actually potentially just open that link and read more about that. And antimicrobial protection. Okay, again, this is something interesting, and you are learning and expanding your vocabulary. All right, let me close that image, close this refined search, come back to our original search results, and let's explore some more of these collocations here. Okay, what do we have here? Electric sharpener. That's something interesting. Red sharpener, eraser, big. Okay, blade. Now you understand that there could be a blade sharpener, like to sharpen these kind of blades. All right, sharpener blade. Oh, okay, it's a sharpener blade. That's actually the blade that is used in the sharpener right here. Okay, okay, I'm learning. You see, I'm exploring some new things. Let me close this one and keep scrolling a bit here to the right. Let's move to the right here. Okay, okay, sharpener, sharpener. So as you can see, mechanical sharpener. Let's see, mechanical sharpener. We have here some that you need to kind of like roll that handle, and that will sharpen the pencil here. Yeah. Okay, that's nice. But let's close this one. I wanted to show you something else. Drawing, school, blue, electric. Let's go for electric. Yeah, electric. Okay, and now you can see that in fact there is an electric sharpener for knives, knife sharpener, right? So that is something new. Maybe you thought that, okay, sharpener could be only for pencils. Yeah, pencil sharpener, like most of these images. But not only that, you can have also knife sharpener. Yeah, and that's the same word in English. And then once you found that particular interesting image for you, okay, oh, electric kitchen knife sharpener, click it, and then everything below that picture will be related to the same search. How to use home, use electric knife sharpener, easy edge electric sharpener, and so on. You see, pull through knife sharpener. That's the one I have. You see, so it's a very specific name. Pull through. You have to pull the knife through that sharpener to sharpen that knife. And that's a great vocabulary. Now I can easily, when I talk and I show something to my friends in my kitchen, I can say, oh yeah, I have this pull through knife sharpener. Now that makes your language richer. You expand your vocabulary this way. Okay. And one last final basically example in this topic is the word note. Note has multiple meanings, okay? And Google Images instantly shows you the different context and related verbs or adjectives. Look at this. Note, okay? Now, you see, we have here quite of a diverse search result. We have music notes, yeah? And we have here a suggestion, music notes, paper notes, what else? Some kind of sticking notes, yeah? Note-taking methods for students. So lots of things, and it's a chaos here. But you can refine your search results, basically, and a bit learn more, of course, and deepen your vocabulary. So I see something interesting here. Transparent note. Are you serious? Transparent notes. Yeah, there are. And as you can see, Post-it, that's a name of a brand, and it's a common name for notes. Post-it transparent notes. That's pretty cool. So as you can see, transparent sticky note. Okay, I've never even seen those. Now I know that there are transparent sticky notes, and as you can see, that's how they use them here. All right, that's nice. Okay, transparent sticky notes. Yeah, yeah. And then you saw something else here. What do you call those? Notes or transparent sticky notes? Okay. I don't think they're called notes. Not sure. Okay. How about this one? Let's search a bit more. Page markers. As you can see, Walmart, again, trustworthy website, calls them page markers. Now, if you've never known how to call these glue, like, sticky little colorful plastic things, well, you call them page markers. Actually, I've seen them used this way, like just to mark what page you want to find that note on, but I've never seen them being like glued directly onto the text just to mark something inside, like in the text, in that paragraph. That's pretty interesting. As you can see, I'm learning right through these video as I'm showing it to you, because there are just so many things here. Yeah, and that's how you can take one particular word. Let's say you learned a new word. My student learned a new word for her. She learned the word charger. She didn't know the word charger. Yeah, we use chargers to charge our phones, our laptops. She learned the word charger. Now just imagine how much more she could have learned about this word if she used this method. Yeah, so let's close that window and search some um, more related words here. As you can see, piano notes. Okay, that's interesting. Piano sheet music notes. Yeah, okay. Then what else? Piano lesson. Yeah, how to read piano notes. Good. All right. Those who are interested in piano, why not? You could just um, learn more about that word through this tool. Now, let's find one more last example, and that's it. Okay, look, handwritten notes. That's something beautiful. Now, because the word note can also mean not just a message to someone, yeah, but a note can be like, or notes, as you can see in plural here. Oh, sorry. Notes can be like your notes, study notes, yeah, handwritten versus typed notes. And they explain a bit more in this article about the differences, maybe for your learning, note taking, handwritten versus typed. So, yeah, guys, that's basically it. Thank you for watching. I just wanted to introduce this tool that I've been using my whole life, as I was learning English and trying to expand my vocabulary. That's a really, really great way to Google something. So next time when you learned a new phrase, a new word, just Google it in Google Images. Use these suggestions to expand your vocabulary, to refine your search, and to visualize very, very specific examples. Now, again, just to remind you that if you find something like, remember we had with you apple fruit, yeah, apple fruit, and then there was apple branch, yeah, somewhere here was apple branch. You see, let's test if I can come back and see that again. Okay, I don't see it right now, but again, what I'm trying to say here is that these phrases, like combinations of words, you can actually then double check. Is it possible to say apple branch? Okay, Google it again and see it. Let me do that. Apple branch. That's what we learned with you. Yeah, branch, apple branch. Okay, that is an apple branch right here, like with fruits or without fruits, but that's apple branch. And of course, you can very intuitively and instinctively translate that into your own language, yeah, into your native language. That's an apple branch. Anyone can do that. You know it in Arabic if you're watching me, and if your native language is Arabic, you know it in Ukrainian, you know it in any native language. That's super clear, super easy. Apple branch. And you've basically learned a new English collocation, yeah? Same goes with notes. We remember we said there was handwritten note, yeah? Handwritten note. Okay. Then you open this, You can even read it and try to understand this handwriting, yeah. And okay, that's a real handwritten notes. Okay, cool. In fact, there is a website that collects this kind of notes. Interesting, yeah. So handwritten note. And obviously, I can translate this into Ukrainian or Georgian, whatever my native language is. I can easily translate this collocation. And now I've really locked in and connected this collocation in English with my native language because it's super easy. It's visualized. Yeah. All right, guys, let me know in the comments below if you have any questions about this method. And I'll see you in the next live video. I'll see you in the next lesson, basically. Thanks for watching.